morning is really a political bombshell and a legal bombshell. You are looking at the Attorney General for the state of New York, Letitia James. She walked into a federal courthouse this morning to plead not guilty to 2 charges. By the way, these bank fraud charges are felonies. They involve making false statements, allegedly, to a financial institution. But because felonies are involved here, the potential for jail time is actually a real threat. And it was totally expected as the process unfolded that she was going to go into court today and plead not guilty. But then she stepped out of the courtroom and out to the steps. By the way, because it was alleged to have happened in the state of Virginia, this is in Norfolk, Virginia. And so the what unfolded right afterwards was really pretty interesting. Here's what she had to say as she took to the microphone. Let's just say it's unusual for any defendant in any case to come with this level of maybe enthusiasm. But here you go.
This justice system, which has been used as a tool of revenge and a weapon against those individuals who simply did their job and who stood up for the rule of law. And a justice system which unfortunately is nothing being used as a vehicle of retribution. Yes. Yes. But my faith is strong. Yes. And my faith is, I have this belief in the justice system, in the rule of law, and I have a belief in America and all of its individuals who have stood with me, not only in New York, but all across this nation. Yes. Yes. I've heard from just about every jurisdiction in this nation who have said, stand up and be tall. And never, ever cow down or back down or break or bend. So there's no fear today. No fear. No fear. No fear. No fear. Because I believe that justice will rain down like water and righteousness like a mighty stream. Preach.
And so there you go. It was a fired up crowd. In fact, she almost seemed, when she stepped in front of the microphone, to be surprised at how many people were there in this town in Virginia to support her. However, there are plenty of, I'm just going to pop a poll question up real quick right now because we haven't had a chance to check in with you guys about this, but grab that QR code. We'll see these numbers start to move around. Is it just revenge? 28% of you are saying, yes, she was only charged because President Trump pressured the DOJ. 72% are saying, no, if she actually committed bank fraud, she should be charged. There's one other option there. And again, the QR code, just grab it. You can let us know your opinion. I'm waiting for the trial to see if there's enough evidence. We're going to check in with Dave on the Dave Cam in 5 or 6 minutes to get some of your feedback on it. But we thought maybe the thing to do would be to bring in one of our favorite guests. Yes, that's right. Prominent attorney here in town, Ben Taylor, joins us in studio. Ben, what exactly are the charges in this case and how serious are they?
I mean, they're very serious charges. Pretty much they're saying that she committed fraud, like mortgage lending fraud, saying that she used one of her homes as a actual, home instead of using it as a rental property. Okay. Under the law, if you have a rental property and you're making money off of your rental property, you're supposed to disclose that to the IRS and to the federal government.
Did she not disclose rental income to the IRS?
I mean, that's what the charge is about.
Oh, okay.
So I always say, no matter if you're President Trump,
Right.
you're Attorney General James, everybody is innocent until proven guilty under the law. But ultimately, she was indicted.
Yeah.
Now she's facing these charges, and her trial is set in January. So she's looking at pretty much 30 years per count.
Wow.
If convicted, of course, people know that a first-time alleged person who's charged doesn't necessarily get 30 years, but ultimately it'll be up to the judge to decide if she is convicted in January during trial, whether or not she would get how much time, if any.
Right. And so this all revolves around, she's the Attorney General in New York, but it was a second home that she bought in Virginia. Is that kind of what happened?
Yes. I mean, that's what they're trying to say, that she made income off of the home around like $19,000.
Okay.
And that wasn't reported legally. So that's that's the alleged charges now that the prosecution is saying. And what makes this case really interesting is some people will know President Trump appointed the special prosecutor to do this case.
Yes.
And this is one of President Trump's former attorneys that he had privately had with them. But people know, too, that Attorney General James prosecuted President Trump a couple years ago. President Trump was found liable in that case.
That was also a bank fraud case, right?
Yeah, it's pretty much fraud of lending and money fraud. So that's why some people are saying it is political. It isn't political, and that's what the poll is here.
Yes,
to see what the viewers think today.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Is it a complicated case? I was surprised when I heard that prosecutors. I mean, to me, it seemed it will be clear cut, innocent till proven guilty. But you've got the paperwork. I mean, the numbers are not going to lie. But then I heard that prosecutors want to call as many as 8 to 10 witnesses in this case. What's that all about?
Yes, I mean, the prosecution, they want to win, of course, right? So they're going to call as many witnesses that they feel that they can do to win. I mean, under the law, you have to be proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Yes. So the Attorney General will have a chance to hire her own defense attorney, present a defense, and ultimately be up to a jury to decide whether or not guilty or innocent. Is
3 months, you've got all your legal expertise. Is 3 months long enough to get ready for a case like this? When somebody's, whether they're a very high profile government official or not, is 3 months enough time to prepare for a case where you could ultimately, if you lose, be in prison for decades?
Yes, I mean, you can. This is not a murder case, but it is complicated, alleged fraud as far as, bank lending fraud and mortgage fraud. So that's going to be very confusing to a jury, just the numbers, just the terminology. But sometimes these cases, as you see, get continued. So if her defense team or the prosecution feels that we don't have enough time right now, they can go back and ask the judge, says, Judge, we need more time. Our witnesses are not here. We don't have enough evidence right now to present. So please give us more time to go forward. But usually in a federal court case, that January date is usually a hardcore date. So you have to have a compelling reason to continue the case for more time.
Okay. It seems like there's a lot of different cases going on at one time when it comes to the federal government. Does that play a role or make it more difficult or easier? Or are there different prosecutors and attorneys set up to handle each one?
Yes, each prosecutor is assigned to each case, and the judge says this is the date we're going on the calendar. And federal court is pretty much strict. If the judge says we're going on that date, pretty much everybody needs to look at their calendar to make sure that they're free. There's no vacation. There's nothing else coming up, and we are going to trial on that date.
Yeah, there's no dentist appointment, Ron. Change your cleaning appointment.
Yes.
We are going.
Look at this grill here. This needs any work? No,
none whatsoever.
All right, man. Thank you very much for your expertise, and we'll follow this case closely. I'm sure we'll be checking in with you.
Yeah, thank you for the invitation.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, let's see if that poll has updated. Oh gosh, yeah, wow, the numbers really have moved around. And then we're going to check in with Dave on the Dave Cam with some of your reaction. We'll start with a QR code poll. So currently 19% are saying, yeah, she was only charged because Trump pressured the DOJ. 70 now, let's see, last time it was about 72, 73. We're up to 78% are saying, no, look, if she did this, if she committed bank fraud, she should be charged. 3% take that wait-and-see attitude. We always like to give you that third option. I'm waiting for the trial to see if there's enough evidence. Celeste, what do you see?
The numbers are pretty split on YouTube. So you've got 377 votes here in just more than 40 minutes. You have yes, she was only charged because Trump pressured the DOJ. 49% said that. No. If she committed bank fraud, she should be charged. 45% voted that, and I'm waiting for the trial to see if there's enough evidence. 6% voting in that direction.
This is interesting because yesterday both polls were right in line with each other, and then today there's a kind of a wide divergence of opinion. So keep on voting, whether you do it on YouTube or whether you do it there on the QR code. But let's go to the man who goes through all of your
Big
comments. What are you seeing? Big D.
Got a lot of good comments, like always. T.S. Spalding, 3845, says, if there were bank fraud, the bank would be the first to sue. There are plenty of politicians that own more than 2 houses. Here in Georgia, there was one who had a primary house in Georgia and South Carolina, so he could vote in both states. No consequences. They might not want to open that door. Barry and Heber says, who was it that said no one is above the law? Oh, yeah, it was her. And finally, Louis Gonzalez says, it's revenge. But if she broke the law, she should be prosecuted. All that break the law should be prosecuted. Really interesting comments. Keep them coming, everybody.
Okay, Dave, thanks very much. And we're just looking at speaking of comments, this is why we love this streaming show. We're live with you guys around the world watching on YouTube. And I have to say, Celeste, I feel for Halakita, who says, OMG, I missed the whole first 10 minutes of the pod today.
Well, you know what's great, though, Halakita? You can go back and watch the first 10 minutes.
Yes.
And then don't tell anybody we said this, but skip through the commercials.
No. Do that.
Press skip, and then it'll take you right back. You'll catch up in no time.
Oh, that's good. Okay, and then somehow there's all this chatter about
food, breakfast.
Why? Why is that?
Well, it's National Bologna Day, so there are some people talking about how fried bologna is the best.
Yes.
I like it in a tortilla with a little bit of mustard. It's so good.
Yeah.
But RLS Vid says sausage, egg, potato, and cheese, green chili. That's what he wants for breakfast. Bacon, egg, potato with jalapeno peppers, Charles David says. And Mr. Pavoline, he doesn't like bologna. He prefers some good ham instead.
And he just says breakfast does sound really good. Hey, we have a great show all lined up for you today. Coming up in about 15, 20 minutes, we're going to be talking with one of the top New York Times reporters on this sort of move toward AI. How many jobs are in jeopardy? Are the robots about to take over? But next, we have Congresswoman Yassamin Ansari, who's going to be joining us here in studio. Hope you can stick around for that, but let's get to the mystery cam. It's a little fuzzy today, but where are the fall leaves turning? We'll be right back. All right, so we welcome you back. We are looking at the leaves turning. This is one of the best. We have probably, 500 live cams around the country and even in some other countries.
Oh, wow.
This is one of the best, Celeste, in terms of, the leaves are turning. So where's it happening? What are you seeing for a few guesses?
Well, we've got North Dakota from Louis Gonzalez. This is a beautiful shot.
Yes.
A little hazy, though.
A little hazy.
But you see, like, the steeple. So obviously there's some history there.
Okay.
They've got some older buildings.
Sure we do.
And
even the high-rise looks old.
It does.
The mid-rise, whatever, 6 stories.
Matt Robinson says Massachusetts. North Carolina from Lil Philosophy.
Okay.
And let's see, we have a couple of others as well. What are you thinking, Ron?
I am thinking that I like Lil Philosophy's guest today of a North Carolina.
Paul Humphrey has Ohio. B. Miguel says Connecticut.
Hold on.
We have a couple Ohio's, actually.
I was just in Pennsylvania, and even that far north, the leaves weren't really turning, so I don't think they're turning yet in the Carolinas. I'm going to go Wisconsin. How about you?
Wisconsin. Yeah. I'm going to go Minnesota.
Okay. Oh, by the way,
Minnesota
RLS is saying not only Massachusetts, it's Acton. That's a lot of confidence.
So he knows. Okay, I'm going to go with Mass then.
Okay, fine.
I'll go with Mass.
Just fine,
Yeah,
Celeste.
I'm allowed to change my opinion,
yes,
Ron.
you are.
Okay,
it's
here we go.
basically your show.
Yeah. Oh, no. That is not true. Bay City, Michigan.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we were all kind of around that location.
Oh, sure.
You know what I mean?
This is the part of the show where Celeste tries to convince us that being 3 states off makes her the winner.
Well, let's see. Is Wisconsin close? It's on the other side of the Great Lakes.
Yes, that's a good point.
So if somebody guessed Wisconsin.
Correct. Now,
Or
if you're in a boat.
Or
but if
Minnesota.
You had to drive, it'd be like 7 hours. Anyway, let's continue on with some of our other stories this morning. How about Alaska Airlines? I don't know if you heard about this. They had a nationwide ground stop. A lot of people, Alaska has, close to, I think, a dozen flights every day between here and Seattle. They also fly over to California. Ground stop started last night. They said at that point they were working to get their operations back on track as quickly and safely as possible. But then later in the day, they said they had 229 flight cancellations, and it was some sort of a, quote, glitch. Mm-hmm. I hate using that word when thousands of people's travel plans got upended. But they are saying that they're fully back operational, but check with the airline if you're going to be flying out today. By the way, if you are going to the airport, you're going to notice one really cool thing.
It's going to, they have, their AC is back working.
The AC is working again. We take these small victories, right?
I wonder how many AC units they actually have on the roof of Sky Harbor.
They only have one unit up there and it's overtaxed. No, I'm sure they have plenty. But this is what happened. They did have the AC issue that really went on for a couple of days, and people, I think, were just really getting fed up with it. But obviously, when you have a huge facility, it was Terminal 4. They did bring in the cooling units. They brought in the fans and more. But the temps, it was a problem on Wednesday, and the temps just kept going up on Thursday. They got the maintenance crews out there, and they say it's all working once again.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, Alaska's pretty cool, too. Ron, I'm glad you brought that story up. Everything's back to normal.
Yes.
They have great customer service.
At Alaska?
Yeah.
I once had, I don't think this is their policy anymore, but I had a flight attendant many years ago. When I got off the plane, it was so fast.
Yeah.
There's nothing like a hot day and the air's barely working and you landed like 8 minutes ago and you're waiting for everybody to get off. And she said their policy at the time was they had to have that, when they pull up to the gate,
right,
they have to have that door open in 1 minute.
Oh, wow.
Or there's an issue. I don't think I asked since then a few years ago. It's no longer but everybody should have that policy. Let us off the plane.
I know. Everybody's hungry. You got to use a restroom. It's like, just go. Let them out.
Hey, you know who flies a lot? Our guest today. It's Congresswoman Yassamin Ansari. We're really glad that you had some time to come visit with us today.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Now, people don't appreciate it. They think, the members of Congress, they work what? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? Well, usually Monday's a fly day and either Thursday or Friday's a fly day, correct?
Yeah, and quite frankly, some of us work all day, every day when we're back here as well.
Right.
And whatnot. But yeah, we fly basically twice a week.
That is impressive. The fact that she says she works all day, every day, I think, Ron, that's why she's been so successful. I'm actually very impressed. You were born up in Seattle, moved here when you were 5, you said. But let me read this because on your website, it says, prior to the election of Congress, you served as Vice Mayor of Phoenix, the youngest woman ever elected to the Phoenix City Council. And you made history as the youngest woman in the 119th Congress as the first Iranian-American Democrat. And you served as freshman class president for Democrats in the 119th Congress, regardless of partisan politics. I think a congratulations is in order.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. So you grew up here in the Valley, and you were very young when you started serving. At what point did you think, I really want to serve public and I want to run for office? Like, how you were young already when you became a city council person. When was it when you thought, this is what I want to do?
Yeah, so I always knew I was interested in public service. So I was working on climate and clean energy issues right after undergrad at New York. I worked at the United Nations, et cetera, et cetera. And then, honestly, it was the first Trump administration and 2 actions that really motivated me to move back home and shift my focus from more, national level work to very local work. It was when Donald Trump pulled out of the Paris Climate Agreement, which I had worked on at the United Nations, and then also the first travel ban, which really impacted families like mine, caused a lot of family separation. So that really upset me, and I wanted to be more in a position where I was making an impact directly. And so I moved back home to Phoenix, got super involved, and I think I still to this day, I think in local government, you can make so much of
more
an impact that people feel on a daily basis, addressing homelessness, improving public safety, building new parks. It's just really tangible and frankly more bipartisan, and there's more ability to work with everyone.
I love that.
How is it adjusting from dealing with local issues? I mean, it doesn't get more local than a local city council to major national issues.
I think the most jarring part at the beginning was the fact that DC is very polarized. That's just the truth. We're also in a very hyper-polarized environment right now. So it's challenging. So that has been an adjustment. I will say, though, I think my interests, I'm very interested in national issues as well. So I've been able to kind of bridge both in a way. So I've enjoyed it, whether that means making sure that Arizona and Phoenix are still getting federal funding to make those local changes that I had worked on, everything from the electric buses we ordered when I was on the city council, that was because of federal funding. Many of our new parks, federal funding, all of the heat mitigation work we're doing. So having that local knowledge is helping me.
Let's talk just a little bit about what the big headline of the day and really of the last couple of weeks, which is the government shutdown. Now, there's an argument out there, let me get your take on this, that you could keep parts of the government open. You could pay the troops. I know this is an issue in the Senate right now, not in the House. But there have been votes this week that said we can still fund SNAP. We can still get the troops paid, that type of thing. Why not at least go that far? Again, I know you're in the House, not in the Senate, but why not?
I think my perspective on this is, Republicans have the opportunity to negotiate. They have for many weeks now, and they refuse to do so. I mean, Republicans in the House have not been to work now going on 4 weeks. They have only worked 2 weeks out of the last 2 months because we had an August recess as well. And that refusal to do their jobs to me is so outrageous. Like, what are their job in the United States? Could you just not show up to work for 3 weeks and not get immediately fired?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because a lot of our viewers in our YouTube chat, they say, why pay lawmakers if they're not willing to work together to make something work and get the government back open?
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. I committed to donating my salary as long as the government is shut down to a community health center in my district that is being impacted by the federal funding cuts. Others have done the same. I mean, obviously, I would, people have families.
Yeah.
I don't have that. It's an easier decision for me, but that's what's happening with federal workers right now.
Right. What do some of our nation's leaders do during a shutdown? Like, do some of them go on vacation?
I don't know. We have been.
You know,
Democrats
Ron's
have
like,
been
what?
man.
We've been working.
If Ted Cruz gets caught down there in
Miami Beach,
Cancun again? Come on now.
If somebody's on Miami Beach catching sun rays, you are in trouble.
Yeah, unless you represent that district.
Exactly.
No, that's, I don't know. I mean, Republicans truly have not been working. They're avoiding their constituents. I mean, they haven't been hosting town halls all year long because of backlash about, how the administration is just cutting agencies, completely disregarding the law in so many cases. So, but we've been, myself, Greg Stanton, Adelita Grijalva, who still has not been sworn in. We've been on the plane back and forth every week. We're ready to negotiate anytime, anywhere. Here in the district, I've been here. I've been meeting with airport workers who have been furloughed and not getting paid. I've gone to community health centers who are terrified about this war on food and saying that come November 1st, they're expecting the need for food banks and access because of SNAP to skyrocket, and they're freaking out about that. And rightly so. Been at the No Kings protest, so we've been busy.
Okay, we do actually have some of the pictures. There was a pretty big turnout. What is your gauge on where your party stands, coming out of these really nationwide protests, and what your prospects are for 2026, and who is the leader of the party now?
Well, first of all, I felt very uplifted by the protests. We had, tens of thousands of people. I've heard different numbers, but I think the official number was 15,000 in downtown Phoenix. People from all walks of life, standing against authoritarianism and the trends that this administration, very alarming trends that, going after the free press, going after lawmakers, going after the courts, going after Congress. So I felt very uplifted. It was the largest protest in American history, from my understanding. I think we need to see more, however. I think thinking the question of the leader of the party, the truth is there is no one leader.
Not
of
even
the party.
Kamala Harris?
There's no one leader of the party. I mean, she's a phenomenal leader of the party, but she's a leader of the party. I think we have a more decentralized view right now. You're seeing many governors step up to the plate and have to defend their states, mayors, members of Congress, senators, and everyday people. So, once we get into the presidential primary for 2028, I think that'll bring a new, level of excitement and enthusiasm around it. But right now, I don't think we want just one leader. I think we need many leaders.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gosh, can you believe we're already out of time?
I know. Can she hang out for just a couple more minutes, Ron? Can we? Do you have like another 5 minutes?
Do you have a couple more minutes?
Okay, great.
All right.
Well,
we'll do that.
We don't bite. We promise.
No.
Well,
right. This has
Ron,
been...
I'm only going to speak for myself, Ron.
Let's take a break. We'll be right back. And by the way, if you have any questions for the Congresswoman, send them our way right there on the YouTube chat. We'll be right back. And at 10:30, welcome back. It's Ron. I'm Ron.
Hi,
This
Ron.
is Celeste.
I'm Celeste.
She's Celeste. And this is Congresswoman Yassamin Ansari. We'll find out a little bit more about her as well. Celeste, let's just continue the conversation.
Let's do it. This has been great. When you're in D.C., and you're there with a lot of the other leaders from around the nation, do you feel like folks are already kind of like stuck in their own beliefs, or do you find some, maybe a handful, are willing to move towards the middle or compromise, or is it pretty difficult to compromise with leaders there?
From obviously I'm in my first term, right? But I do think this is an unusual first term, and that, just quite frankly, the president has a very ironclad grip on the Republican Party, Republicans in Congress in particular. They're unwilling to go against him in any way, even when they have indicated that their positions are actually different. I'll give you an example of that. During the reconciliation bill process a couple months ago, when, they call it the big beautiful bill, we call it the big ugly bill, many Republicans, or I'll say over a dozen Republicans, including Juan Ciscomani from Arizona, wrote a letter and were very clear that they will not vote for a budget that cuts Medicaid for anyone. Mm-hmm. And they wrote the letter. They went on the record saying that, but then they turned around and they voted for it. And you've seen that kind of pressure campaign work. It's happening right now with the Epstein files as well. The 4 Republicans who are on the discharge petition to release the Epstein files have been getting extreme pressure from the White House. So the White House has said this is a hostile act to sign this petition. And so that's also why the Speaker of the House is not swearing in Adelita Grijalva in Arizona's 7th District, because she would be the final signature needed to bring that to the floor. So there are dynamics at play that even good intentioned members on both sides who want to work together, it's just not happening in this environment in a meaningful way.
One more question about the government shutdown and the subsidies for Obamacare or the ACA. I've heard the argument that I know we had Mark Kelly on the other day, and I said, I know you think you're fighting the good fight here, but the government remains shut down. Why not reopen it? Even though I know there's a thought that this is our one chance because this is when we have the leverage, won't you actually have more leverage in about 2 weeks once people start to see what's happening to the rates that they pay for medical coverage? In some cases, I hear they could double, maybe even triple. Yeah. Isn't that the big leverage point? And get the government reopened? I
mean, that's happening right now. People are getting their notifications all over the country about their premiums. And Republicans have made very clear, they have no plan for health care. And they have been dishonest all year. Donald Trump is more focused on building his $350 million ballroom. His press secretary literally said yesterday, this is the president's #1 priority, as millions of Americans are going to see health insurance premiums skyrocket. I mean, this is, to me, so outrageous. And when you have a trifecta, the presidency, the Senate, and the House, and you cannot keep the government open, you cannot negotiate, you refuse to negotiate, you refuse to come to work, that is a complete abdication of responsibility. So this falls squarely on Republicans. If they want to reopen the government, they can negotiate, they can talk to Democrats, they can come to work, and they can do that. People are willing. We've been at work every single day.
Okay.
So we have a question from Brandy the Bookworm in the chat. She says, what's her take on the potential future loss of Social Security benefits, both for retirement and disabled?
I'm deeply concerned about the fact that the administration wants to privatize Social Security. We saw threats of that at the outset of the year with Doge and Elon Musk. They fired thousands of employees at the Social Security Administration. The same way they are doing that across agencies, what this president wants to do, and what Russ Vought, who runs the Office of Management and Budget, and he's one of the architects of Project 2025, wants to do. They don't believe in the federal government. They want mass layoffs, and they want to make government so ineffective by firing everybody so that people stop believing that government can work. And Social Security is a huge target for them, and we have to do everything we can to protect it.
Is there somewhere in the middle where, and because you've spent a lot of time in D.C., maybe you understand this a little bit more than we do, and we just have about 30 seconds, but government has gotten, in some departments, pretty big. like so big that you're like, what does that person do? Or what does that person do? Or what does that title mean? Is there somewhere in the middle where we think we can maybe shorten or I guess, make some of the agencies smaller and still be efficient?
Absolutely. I mean, I think efficiency is a goal that everybody should have. That's just not what happened. You had DOJ, you had a bunch of 22-year-old young men come in and just fire people within a week. I mean, you don't know what's efficient and what's not efficient when you come in after a week, right? You have to do an audit, an assessment. So many people, like, I'll give one quick example, the LIHEAP program. It funds utility assistance for people in Arizona when they need AC. They just fired everyone who works in that program. So now there is no program because there's nobody working there.
So those people, where do they go? Those people, where do they go when they need help? Like they would call APS or SRP and ask for forgiveness or something?
They would try. But yeah, this was a federal program that no longer is operating.
Exists.
Hey, we do have our New York Times reporter standing by. But one last question. Let's just squeeze it in real quick from AZ Raider. What about the proposal? It was a Florida lawmaker who said nobody's going to get paid. Now, you just told us you're donating your salary. Mm-hmm. Would that kind of a bill have a chance of passing both houses once we get through all this?
How many lawmakers do you think would vote for that?
A bill where nobody gets paid during the shutdown?
Yeah.
Lawmakers specific.
Yeah, that would be tough. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's the right thing to do. I think the actual right thing to do, there was a Senate bill by Chris Van Hollen this week that said that everyone furloughed, whether it's the troops, whether it's, employees who are working, everyone should get paid and certain programs should keep operating. And Republicans did not vote for that. So I think that's more. But yeah, I agree with the viewer. We should not be getting paid during this time as others are struggling.
Thank you so much for coming in. This was so great.
Thanks for having me.
Just to kind of have some time to ask questions and hear your thoughts on it. It's been really insightful.
Okay. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. Well, I mentioned that we have our New York Times reporter standing by. Here she is, as a matter of fact. She is the tech correspondent for the New York Times, Karen Wise. And Karen, good morning.
Morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're really glad to chat with you. AI, I think, is on everybody's mind.
Oh, absolutely.
But I keep seeing these interviews, Syleste, where people who are proponents of it anyway say, hey, the future is bright. It may take some jobs, but it will create other jobs. Mm-hmm. That net, it won't be a bad thing. But, you follow it on a daily basis. Where are we headed with AI? And how many jobs will it cost in our country?
Yeah, I mean, there's many forms of AI. There's the kind that are on our computers, like chatbots, and increasingly doing writing and math and things like that. And those are still kind of early in the way they are entering our workplace. But we're seeing that the kind of automation has really been there in more kind of industrial environments for a while. And I have this new story out about Amazon and their fulfillment centers and their operations, which has long had, as you see in these photos, a lot of automation, but that they've made great strides into making it more automated. And so the reporting I had was about how they hope to avoid hiring more than 500,000 people over a decade by increasing the amount of automation and robotics in their operations.
And so
it's sort of the cutting edge of in this part of the economy where there are a lot of people working.
And I guess moving toward greater efficiencies and using technology to our benefit has been part of the American story really for about the last 150 years.
That is absolutely true. And if you look in that picture that you just saw, those people there was a conveyor belt with humans kind of moving packages. Yeah. I went to Amazon's most advanced facility and that is not happening there. So you have robotic arms moving those packages instead, or little individual kind of stool-sized robots shuttling a package around the warehouse. So that's one of the examples of a kind of a change that is happening. And I don't think anyone is kind of, in some sense, surprised. Like, this is, as you said, this happens across industries. I think it is surprising in that it's kind of actually clicking more than people may have realized, and that Amazon internally, their robotics teams are optimistic about the efficiencies that they can be achieving in the coming years, that they've kind of unlocked some new things because of different advancements and investments they've made.
So when you think about jobs in the tech industry specifically, for example, I had this conversation with a bunch of college students the other day, and they're studying AI. Is when in 4 years when they graduate from college, is that going to be old news? I mean, it's changing and emerging
it's
so
an incredibly
quickly.
difficult time to be a college student right now. I have colleagues who've done a lot of reporting on this. People were told for about a decade, become a coder and your future is bright. We need more coders in America. And then, now we have all these AI coders and we actually don't need to teach you that. You need to learn AI. So it's a big open question, and I actually really feel for people in college right now because we're in the middle of the transition and the types of roles that come out on the back end aren't entirely clear what they're going to be and what will be durable. Is it more technical skills? So for example, in these warehouses, there'll be more jobs for technicians, for people that actually repair the robots, maintain them, and things like that. So those are technical jobs that we're going to need more of in the economy. But on the flip side, like with AI, a lot of the work right now is actually being created is actually in construction. So you're building these enormous AI data centers, and there are literally thousands of electricians working at those. And those are extremely well-paid jobs. People are making easily 6 figures building data centers, and with a high school degree. So, but at the same time, if you're a kind of college student and you want to go into tech, like, is it best to learn in, creative thinking? Is it best to learn technical skills? It's very hard to know right now and to navigate.
I don't know if everybody's aware. Actually, Dave, Big D, our executive producer, showed me how you can do this. You can go and click on whoever your favorite reporter might be at the New York Times and read all of his or her content.
Yes.
What have been, we only have about 30 seconds left, but what have been some other pieces that you've worked on recently in the tech world?
Well, one thing I would point to is actually wrote about electricians a year ago. And it's very fascinating, the kind of tangible economy and building of these warehouses, these data warehouses, essentially, these data centers. They're creating a lot of mixed emotions. I know in Arizona and as well as other places. Are these a good use of our resources? Are these good jobs? Are they going to create jobs in the long term versus the short term? How are local communities benefiting from that? It's a very complex issue that's happening around the country, and there are frankly many different opinions on it. And the scale of the work being done is just huge. So I've been very fascinated by that a lot recently.
Well, we've learned a lot from you, that's for sure. We appreciate your time. This is Karen Wise. You can read her in the New York Times.
Yeah, Karen, thank you for your time.
Thanks for having me.
You're wonderful. Thank you.
Okay, time for a break right now, and we will be back. Are you going to the state fair today? There's something you need to know about. That's next. Whoa.
Whoa, that was a yes.
I was here and then they were gone.
Well, you know what happened? Mom walked into the room and she's like, turn that racket down.
Hey, this is our favorite music. We love we call it the bump music.
We're like teenagers in here, Ron.
RLS Vids is proposing an AI Hooner version.
Oh.
Now, I'm not opposed, Celeste. This might surprise you.
I am a robot. My name is Ron Hoon.
Imagine if we each had our own robot so that then when we're away on vacay, you don't impact everybody else's schedule.
So, but if that robot were to say or do something inappropriate, are you held liable, or is there a contract that's explicitly states?
We had our legal expert, Ben Taylor. You could have asked him this 20 minutes ago. Anyway, okay, everybody, welcome back. It's 10:46. This is Fox 10 Talks. We have plenty to talk about. You know, the state fair, Celeste, I can't believe it. It feels like it comes and goes so quickly. But we do want to bring everybody up to speed on exactly what's going on because it's about to wrap up.
I know.
And it's really like the closest thing we have to a theme park in Arizona. It's just 1 month and a few extra days kind of a theme park, and it comes when the weather really gets nice. But they have this canned food drive, and every year it's been a big success where if you bring in, I believe it's 7 non-perishable food items, you get in for free.
That's today.
And that is today, this Friday.
Yeah.
Right? Free food fair Friday, something like that.
Yeah, and the beauty of it is that you don't then have to pay ticket price.
Right.
But then you're helping to feed Arizona families.
Yep.
And, we have a lot of great organizations here in the Valley.
Yeah.
That help out. And St. Mary's is one of them. And we got downtown Jerry Brown.
This is the perfect introduction. That was very smooth, Celeste, for sure. Hi, Jerry.
Morning, folks. How you doing? Hey, Celeste. Hey, Ron.
Hi, buddy. I don't think we've seen the inside. I've never seen the inside of your office. What are all of these bobbleheads, or what is happening behind you?
Wow.
Oh, that's my rock section behind me over on this side. So that's my rock and roll section. There's
rock and roll.
Nice.
Like who would you have
back there?
Oh God, I have the Stones, Alice Cooper, the Beatles, lots of Elton Johns.
Is that Bob Dylan? Is that Bob Dylan in the hat? Is that what I'm looking at?
No, that's Chicago Farmer, which is kind of a Midwest thing, but I was able to get that one.
Well, no wonder you love your job. Look who you get to work next to.
Yeah, well, when you're the boss, you can put up as many bobbleheads as you want.
Yeah, one of these days, not today, we need a office tour.
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
All right. Jerry, tell us about, my understanding is donations are down this year at the state fair. What do people know about this, or what should they know about it? And has it had any kind of an impact on your ability to serve the public?
Yeah, well, it's been an interesting year. We had one Friday that was washed out by rain. We had a very rainy October, which is fantastic for the weather and for the drought, but not so good when you're at the fair. So. After the first 3 weeks, we're at about 32,000 pounds of food. We usually top the 100,000 pound mark in previous years. We're not going to get there this year, but today is the last day of the fair. So if you come between noon and 6 today at the fair and you bring 7 cans, that saves you the admission fare, which is $17.50. So if you have a group of 4 folks and you bring 28 cans of food with us, you save $70 that you can spend inside on the fair. And that food is very important to us. Some of the food that's been affected by the government shutdown is canned food that we put into our emergency food boxes. And we're putting the food from these events like the state fair directly into our emergency food boxes. And we're distributing over 100,000 of those every month. So every can counts. Hoping that folks, if they can come out today, they can help us out.
Jerry, we do have a comment, not so much a question, but a comment in our chat on YouTube. And Charles David says, donating is so worthwhile. I volunteered at St. Mary's a few years back and got to do it again. And I know I've been down there with my kids. We've done it as well. I think you mentioned that you're low on food. Is there any concern kind of looking ahead ahead with the government shutdown, if people lose SNAP benefits, that those numbers of Arizona families that are in need obviously will rise, and then you all will of course be called to respond as well.
Yeah, we're already at. We have more people coming to the food bank now than we did during the height of the pandemic. We're seeing across our network 20,000 visits a week. That's not just our 3 locations, but including our 700 agency partners across our network. So we're seeing a huge amount of people, and that's before all of this. The government shutdown is affecting people's paychecks this week. It's really going to hit hard. There are 433,000 Arizona households that take part in the SNAP benefits that are not going to get those benefits come November the 1st. Some of those folks already come to the food bank and they use both SNAP benefits and the food bank to kind of get through the month with their food. But there are a lot of people who are on SNAP benefits that have not come to the food bank before, and we may expect to see those. So we're kind of bracing for what we may see. There's no way food banks are going to be able to make up all of this, all of the people that need help, and all of the people that are going to lose benefits or lose paychecks due to the government shutdown. But we're here to help as much as we can. But we certainly could use help from the public when it comes to food donations and cash donations to try to make sure we can say yes to every family, which is what we've done here at St. Mary's for 58 years.
So I have this sense, and you can correct me if I'm way off base, but I have this sense that once we get into, say, about mid-November and we get closer to Thanksgiving, people just start to think about those who are not going to have a Thanksgiving meal, and that the donations at that point do come in at a pretty good clip. A, is that right? And B, not trying to talk anybody out of doing that, but if you're already so inclined, maybe you bring some more things by between now and November 1st.
Right, yeah. We get a lot of our donations during the months of November, December. We get a lot of our volunteer help during those months as well. But we have kind of a perfect storm happening here now where at St. Mary's Food Bank, we distribute about 23,000 turkeys, food boxes, and vegetable bags in the 2 weeks leading up to Thanksgiving. But we're going to see big numbers, and if this shutdown continues through the holiday that some people are thinking that we may see, we may have huge numbers of people even before the Thanksgiving rush begins. And, that's a difficult situation for not just St. Mary's Food Bank, but all of the food banks.
Okay, there you go. Everybody knows St. Mary's Food Bank. We've all known Jerry for a long time. He does a great job there. If there's a way that you can help now, that will be very helpful to them. And particularly if you're thinking about going to the state fair, like Jerry said, family of 4, save yourself $70.
Yeah.
Help them out at the same
No kidding.
time.
Jerry, it's so good to see you, my friend. It's so wonderful what you're doing for Arizona. Thank you.
Thanks, Ron and Celeste. Take care.
Okay.
Keep rocking on, buddy. Keep rocking
it on. Hey, we have a story. Now, this is a heavier news story, but we put a lot of effort into it. We just haven't had a chance to get to it yet. But there was a story out of Scottsdale where a guy was killed in an attack. The arrests have been made, and family members are speaking out. This is a young man, TJ Pizzatola, and his friends were kicked out of a bar for being unruly. As the group walked up to a rideshare, somebody bumped into a woman. It became an argument. Pizzatola was sucker punched, knocked unconscious, and left for dead. And here's the follow-up now to that story.
Shannon Bream time.
Oh, hold on.
Hi, Shannon.
Nope, that's coming up in just a minute.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Hang on. We've got that a little bit. Oh, you know what? We've already rolled past that.
Oh, we did a lot
We're prepping for the 11 a.m. Yeah. No, I can tell. Oh, you have it? Okay, let's go for it. You guys can go ahead and roll it.
They had ordered. The rain was falling and there was a large crowd gathered under a covering. And the victim, who we've identified for today's purposes as victim number 3, had bumped into a woman who was hanging out with some men. At some point, the 3 victims started to walk away towards where they were going to catch their Uber. During that cell phone video, what you can see is victim number 1 standing with his arms to his side, and you can see the defendant in front of us today walk up behind him and essentially what we refer to as sucker punched him in the head.
When I got home, I texted him that I had gotten home, and he texted me back and said that he wished that I was there, but that he was so proud of me for staying home and taking care of our baby boy, and that he loved me. And it was the last text message I ever got from him. About 3:30, I saw that his location changed to the emergency room, and dropped everything and ran down there in my pajamas. I'm trying so hard not to be so angry at this situation and try to be the strong woman that he thinks that I am. All he ever wanted to be was the best father ever and the best husband, and thank goodness he got to be the best husband, but he wasn't finished.
That has got to be so hard. By the way, here are the 5 people that have been arrested in this case. We're going to continue to follow how difficult for her just to come forward and share her thoughts and emotions.
Oh, my goodness. And the situation where they walked out, and I think they're we had it earlier this morning. He was waiting for an Uber or driver, and just accident, and you never know. It's like you never know who you're driving by, you never know who you're walking next to, and the whole thing just imploded. It is a heartbreaking story.
And it sounds like it all blew up in the matter of, I don't know, a minute or 2.
Maybe less, yeah.
Okay, we're going to follow that one. Now, before we send it off to Ty and Danielle, how about this for a little bit of an upbeat story?
Thank you, Ron.
The number is out in terms of top dogs.
Oh, the top dog breeds.
Top dog names.
Oh, even better. Look at Bella. Bella's off today. But that's a top
Bella
name for
is now number 1 in America.
It is.
And then Luna.
Mm-hmm. And then Daisy, Lucy, and Max. This is, of course, according to Chewy.com.
Sure.
The dog food, item dog company. And then I think they make all kinds of things.
Yeah.
But then there's the other. Do you have the other 5 as well, Ron? Or you just pulled up?
All right. No, I think it's coming up in about 10 seconds, as a matter of fact.
All right. Well,
but Bella's number 1 now, so that's kind of new, and I think it's really cool. I love names like Lucy and Max. They feel like great human names, but also great doggy names.
Yeah. So our dogs are Jack and Grace. Mm-hmm. Jack and Gracie.
Yeah.
I think human names for dogs are the cutest.
Yeah.
And so we have, top 5 names from Chewy.com. Bella, Luna, Daisy, Lucy, Max.
Yeah. I don't see Pebbles on the list.
Pets.
Our little pooch, we had our beloved Chihuahua for about 20 years. By the way, there's the rest. Charlie, Bailey, Cooper, Buddy, and Sadie.
Oh, there they are.
Love them all.
So cute.
All right.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Great show, guys.
Happy Friday.
Were you guys all freaked out?
Like, oh, no audio.
So,
all right.
Earth to Danielle and Ty.
Well, I heard you did a really good job yesterday.
You know,
You and Krystal, of course, held down the
yes.
fort yesterday.
Yeah, we had big shoes to fill, but you know what? I think your job's on the line, Ty.
Well, you know what? That's what I've been hearing.
Unfortunately.
And,
The chat blew up and was like, Ty who?
Ty who? Yeah, get rid of him.
He doesn't know how to push those buttons.
Well, thanks for filling in. All right, Krystal, there's a lot going on this weekend.
Yeah, there's
And
so many events.
We thought we would have you kind of give us a little weekend recap if you want to go up north. Look at the leaves. We obviously have so many events happening down here in the valley as well. Plus, you pulled something up which I thought was really interesting. You have a little mosquito chart, which
Mosquito meter.
the mosquitoes
Just count the
at
bites.
Have been
my
so
house,
awful.
I know, awful.
Like,
they're everywhere, and now they're stuck in the. I've found like 5 in the house,
yes.
and they're hard to get.
And I
you
had one
do,
in my
like, the-
car.
and then you get the
Oh, they're everywhere.
blood smash everywhere. It looks like a little murder scene in your palm.
Yeah, they just drank your blood.
Oh, it's horrible.
Gross.
Very Halloween-esque.
All right.
But yeah, we'll talk about it.
We got a lot to talk about.
Indeed. So let's talk about some of the events first that are going on around town. We will start with the Making Strides Against Breast Cancer Walk because that is tomorrow morning at Tempe Beach Park. Desiree Fluellen and Syleste Rodriguez are both going to be there. So a couple of our own. 7 a.m. registration time, 63 degrees. And then it'll be about 66 at the start of the walk, which is at 8:30. And then by 11 a.m., middle 70s. But overall, the weather looks like absolutely perfect for folks that will be out there. A little like light jacket, pink, of course, and some sunscreen. I would recommend because it is going to be sunny out there. But otherwise, great weather for the walk in the morning, just a little chilly. As the day goes on, obviously warming up, there's the Dia de los Muertos festival that is over at the Mesa Arts Center on Saturday. And again, like pretty much perfect weather. Sunshine, wind's not going to be a problem. Getting to about 85 degrees by 3 in the afternoon, and then it'll be a clear night as well. And then speaking at night, if you're going to the ASU game, Danielle?
Yes. Forks up, everyone.
Against Houston, we are looking at temperatures that will slip into the upper 70s towards end of game. But again, it's like really perfect weather from morning to evening. Any event going on Saturday. Sunday will be slightly warmer, but otherwise pretty much a repeat of what I just showed off in terms of the temperatures running through. Okay, now we can talk about mosquitoes.
Right, everybody in the chat is talking about
I know.
mosquitoes.
They're so bad.
So
Rob was saying
bad.
that's Wisconsin state bird. It's come to AZ. I agree.
Go back to Wisconsin.
Yeah,
Birds.
send them back.
Bookworm said, I got bit last night on my hand while I was asleep. I know.
Ooh.
These mosquitoes are everywhere.
They're
Krystal.
relentless.
Yeah. So the part of the issue, obviously, is they thrive in like a specific temperature range, which is below 100, above like 60, 70 degrees. And that is exactly where we've been, especially when there's been a lot of water, which we've had a lot of water the last like 2 months. So no surprise that they've kind of exploded on the scene. And unfortunately, we are not changing the weather much as we move through the next week. So I would say for the next week, we are still for them in that just right territory. So they're going to be thriving on us through the next week, which means you still got to be using the bug spray or at least be cognizant of being outside with all the mosquitoes everywhere. I'm not like by any means a mosquito expert, but I did do a little bit of a deep dive because I was trying to figure out why. Like, why is this happening to us? Because my daughter, and I've read this happens with a lot of like younger kids.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like their blood smells sweet or something or what's going on, but they are just attacking her, and her reaction to them is like her whole leg. It's so horrible.
That's when somebody else said they get like welts when they're little.
That's what Millery.
Huge welts.
Huge.
It's like breaking my heart because she wants to go outdoors now that the weather's nice, but then I'm terrified. We're like putting her like socks, long sleeves, like
She's bundled up to go outside. And
and they itch them.
Yeah.
Which is like as an adult, you know, if you itch them, it spreads, it makes it worse.
The other day, it was terrible. So anyways, my husband texted, he's like, when is this going to stop? And I was like, well, let me try to figure out an answer.
Yeah.
So I read that basically 100 degrees plus, it's too hot for them, especially if it's really dry, because they thrive more in like that like moist environment, which is why during like our peak summer, we don't see as much of a problem because we're like literally too hot here in the valley at least. And then 60, they start to like go dormant, like they start to like get a little sleepy basically, and then by 50 degrees and below they're
gone.
Either they're in full hibernation or they're dead.
So our triple digit temps are worth something.
Yeah, the one good thing about them.
Bring them back, Krystal.
Right now with these temperatures in the 80s, we're just in this like perfect sweet spot. The temperatures are like beautiful for them. So unfortunately,
people in the chat are asking, like, do you think those like citronella candles? Someone said, Little Philosophy said that the citronella candle seemed to work yesterday.
I've heard that can work.
I've had a hit or miss. Some of them. We bought the like they're they look like incense.
Oh yeah.
And you burn them, and it makes the smoke. And those seem to really kind of keep them
away.
too.
We have a zapper. It kind of looks like a little furnace, but it's like a little zapper. So outside, a little bit, maybe a little bit, yeah. But then we're cheering every time we hear it.
That's
we're
morbid.
Like, got another one. I know. Don't come at me, mosquito lovers.
We got some
you know, I might get some DMs.
Yeah, no,
here.
I don't think there literally is a single mosquito lover out there. We got some kind of like, all natural spray or whatever, and it has the like citronella and rosemary, I think, and some other stuff in it. I think that works because I wore it the other day and I didn't get any bites, but I don't know. Maybe it was just lucky that day. I'm not sure, but. Oh.
And then I did not too long ago, I think it was a couple summers ago, I did a story with the abatement, Maricopa County abatement. And they were saying just like a capful of water is all you need for the mosquitoes to breed in. So
that's what the standing water
amount for standing
all the rain
that
we've
property.
had.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
but it is brutal. But
everybody be safe from all the creepy crawlies out there.
Sure. All right. Well, Krystal, thanks for coming in.
Yeah. Have a great weekend.
All right. We're going to take a look outside because Krystal was just talking about how nice it is going to be over the weekend. And man, if you've got any plans outdoors, it is going to be absolutely fantastic out there, and plenty of blue skies out there on this Friday morning as well.
What's that, Chase Field right there? Downtown Phoenix?
Sure is.
Camelback?
Looking kind of
beautiful.
over off to the north and to the east. Or rather, east. Yeah, north and east. I got it right. Got it right the first time. Shouldn't second guess myself.
Easy to do on a Friday when we've been working all week and we're exhausted.
All right. Do you want to introduce our next
guest? Okay. This, oh my goodness, is Jennifer Armour. She is the founder of the Armour Foundation for Kids. So basically, I'll let Jennifer actually say it, but she helps kids in the hospital, families, basically pay for things that maybe insurance doesn't cover. So we're talking a hotel room or, dinner, but just it goes so far beyond that. And she hosts toy drives every year. So many things going on, and you're having a trunk or treat coming up. So that's why we had her on specifically for this Halloween event. Jennifer, first and foremost, I didn't really do it justice because you do so much. Yes, with the Armour Foundation. So just kind of give us a little synopsis of the Armour Foundation.
So basically what we do is we help families that have children with life-altering medical conditions. So we'll pay their doctor bills, their hotel bills, prescriptions, you name it. Our main thing is we do not want families to have to stress about paying a medical treatment versus do I pay for my mortgage?
Wow.
What comes first? So we remove that financial burden.
Yeah, and I mean, if something like this were to happen, there's just so many expenses that pop up that are so unexpected, even with a diagnosis or whatnot. And you guys are local, 100% local.
Yes.
Yeah, which I love.
Yep. All our kids are right here in the Valley.
Amazing. And trunk or treat?
Trunk or treat. This is our first ever trunk or treat at Banner Children's Hospital.
Oh, cool.
So that the families can actually come in a safe environment. And it's actually all the hospital staff that's setting up with foundation board members.
Yeah. And so how does it look? Are the kids going to come down? Kids who are safe enough to come down?
The kids are safe enough that can come down.
Okay.
Families that receive treatment, but the kids don't have to stay in the hospital. And it's open to the public. It's just spreading awareness.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to have a DJ. She's going to play some fun, spooky music. We'll have Cuties Lemonade's going to be there with lemonade. And we're just going to have a fun community event at the hospital.
A party in the parking lot.
Absolutely.
I love it. I was going to ask you, if you don't mind, can we kind of go back to how did this all come to be? How did you start the Armour Foundation?
So a long time ago, one of my really, really good friends lost her daughter to a brain tumor. I was not financially or emotionally able to help her. I was going through a lot of personal things myself. And my current husband, he said, we do so much in the community. I think it's time your heart is really showing where you want to go. And so it was a no-brainer. We said, let's do it. Let's remove this financial stress from these families.
Wow. Do you mind sharing how much on a yearly basis you are shelling out to some of these in all to all of the things that you guys?
So as of right now, we've given out over 1.5 million.
Unbelievable.
Wow. That's incredible.
So it is very selective on who gets to come aboard because it's not just a one-time check.
Yeah.
which that is fantastic and it helps, but it goes so far beyond that.
I know you guys do a lot of fundraisers, including
I know.
Dancing with the Stars, our own dancing star right here.
I don't know if I'd say dancing or star.
We saw your little routine. It was fantastic.
You did
Danielle.
fabulous.
Thanks, Jennifer. Thanks,
And
Ty.
believe it or not, that money goes to help those families.
Yeah.
So we try and do fun events so that, you know, we're not just, hey, can you donate $20? Can you do this?
Yeah.
Let's do something fun. And Ty, we can get you in.
The dance, I have to say, though, that was one of the funnest. It wasn't even just me doing it. It was watching all the other contestants. It's, you know, you see these people at the dance studio because you go to a professional dance studio, the Fred Astaire dance studio. You team up with an actual professional, and we're seeing each other kind of, you know, through the week, and then you go watch them perform their routine. It was so fun. Nerve-wracking, all the above, but all for a great cause.
The Fred Astaire Awachiki franchise is amazing to work with.
Did you win?
No.
Oh.
Thanks for rubbing it in.
Oh, sorry.
But see, there's two winners. There's two winners.
She's
There's
the
the
winner in our
judge.
heart.
She is.
Yeah.
She is. She's there anytime I need anything.
That's right.
Yeah, there's two winners.
Yeah, there was, isn't it the person who raised the most and then...
the judges.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, the judges pick one and they critique it. You answer the questions. So, Ty, we can get you in as a judge.
Oh, yeah.
I wanna
thought
see
you were
him as
gonna
a
say-
dancer.
No. Okay, so my very, very first job, I was roped into doing a dancing thing. And
I need more details than
no.
that.
Oh, we need proof.
Horrible. No, it was bad. And I seriously blacked out on stage. I think I skipped the entire routine that we were supposed to do. And my poor little dance partner was like, you just skipped the entire thing. Just went right to the end.
She just went straight to a solo.
Yeah, and I
Good
was
job.
like, and I just sat there. And I was like, that's it, go girl.
Oh my
So
goodness.
ever since then, I was like, no, I don't think I'm not a dancer. I am not a dancer.
You could do it.
No.
But that event though, you sell tickets.
We do.
Okay.
That event, we sell tickets January 9th at the Ashley Castle.
And it's so fun.
It's
dinner.
so fun.
Everybody gets dressed up and
Oh yeah. It's fancy. It's a night under the stars, you know, the ambiance, and it's just so much fun. We have so much fun.
And the trunk or treat, how do people get involved? And then also you're starting your toy drive as well.
Yes. So if they want to come out and, you know, participate, that's going to be the main way to help us, because the more people that we get out there to spread awareness, we'll be passing on information and, you know, everything. And that's the main thing. But for the toy drive, that starts mid-November. And all of the toys that we collect will last the hospital roughly 6 months.
Wow.
So they try and normalize the children's hospital stay as much as possible. So anytime they have to have a traumatic experience, you know, anything, they get to go to the toy closet.
Birthdays, celebrations.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then we provide all the items that parents would need so that they don't have to leave.
I love this. Real quick, give us a website. We've got about 5 seconds left, Jennifer.
armorfoundation.org.
Awesome. And it's ARMER. If you guys want to check it out, you should. It's an awesome organization. Thank you, Jennifer.
All right, welcome back. We've got so many great, inspiring guests here this morning on this Friday.
Yes.
We're ending the week on a high note, for
That's
sure.
right.
All right, we have our new friend here, Sonya Engle. Sonya, why don't you introduce yourself for everybody out there?
Thank you. I am Chief Operating Officer, Sonora Quest Laboratories. Sonya Engle, proud to represent my company and the American Cancer Society today, because it's such an important day leading into Making Strides tomorrow.
Yeah, let's talk about Making Strides. Fox 10 has been kind of a partner with Making Strides for as long as I've worked here, and it is such a cool event. For people that have never been before, just tell us what this is all about.
If you have experienced cancer, whether it be your cancer, a family member, you know what it's like to have the uncertainty, the fear of that diagnosis, or the concern for your loved one.
Yeah.
Making Strides is this energetic, empowering time to give information, support, to raise funds, to help people that hear that terrible news that you or a loved one has breast cancer. And frankly, it has been so effective. Our Making Strides event here in Arizona has 40,000 people all walking about 3 miles together, Tempe Beach Park. It's so much fun. I mean, it's last year, I had my cowboy boots on today because I walked in my cowboy boots last year, but didn't even feel the pain because there's this music and energy and food and fun, and it's really positive.
And we're watching video right now. This is, I'm
great.
assuming, from last year or a previous year, but it's just it's a sea of people and pink, as you said, and positive energy with just so many people. And you see everybody. You see kids, older people, younger people, men, women. Everybody comes out to support.
That's right. And it's so important that Sonora Quest, we support because we recognize that we do important testing that helps people to get information sooner so they can take action. Breast cancer, like any cancer, early detection is key. And one of the things that I'm really proud that we do there is we'll have a presence and we'll be able to educate. Our banner pink bus will be there, making people aware that you can get screening. And screening is the best way for detection, better outcomes if you have cancer and you know early. For me, I had breast cancer. I started screening in my 20s because I had a family history. My story is, I would say, a tale of two stories. So I had an aunt who was just 4 years older than me. When her breast cancer was diagnosed, she had a lumpectomy, and ultimately she had a recurrence, and it took her life. She died of pancreatic cancer. For me, when I was diagnosed, I continued screening, and then I had bilateral mastectomy, which was aggressive, and I was in my early 30s, and I had young kids, but I wanted to live to see my kids grow up, and that wasn't the case. My mom also had breast cancer, and so it runs like crazy. In my family, I had the genetics testing. Most breast cancer is not family related. So if anybody out there is listening saying, I don't have any cancer in my family, I don't have to worry about it, please take action, get screened, because there are other causes. And again, if you get diagnosed early, you can have a good outcome. And I'm here to say this is a good outcome.
Yeah. Do you mind sharing a little bit more about your story? Because when you were diagnosed, I mean, what is that like to hear that C word coming out of a doctor's mouth?
So for me, I actually had cervical cancer first. And when I first heard it, I was like in denial. I mean, I was in my 20s, and I just felt like, what's my future like? Am I going to die? That's scary to be in your 20s and think, am I going to die?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I had a great oncologist that said, we can treat this. And after chemo and the doctor said, I want you to be able to have kids. And I love that because I didn't even think I wanted kids back then. But hearing him say that a successful outcome is not just you surviving, it's you being able to have a family and a future. And so that was really encouraging. And so that's why I started volunteering. I want for more people to have that kind of positive outcome. I want for people that are in fear to realize, don't be afraid. Get involved. Take action. Take care. Take control of your body. I love that I get to talk about this, and I hope that someone that hears my story, because I've had people say, "Oh, thank you, you reminded me, I need to get screened," and then I follow up and say, "And did you get screened? And did you take action? And did you look at my lab requests, for example, that we have at my company, where you can order your own tests? Sometimes you can't get to a doctor soon enough, or the expense is something that is an inhibitor, and there's so many solutions, and I like to make people aware.
What type of tests are those that you? So, are there different type of testing? And I know the mammogram. Obviously, you have to do that later. I think it's 45 now, right, or 50?
Actually, if you have risk, you can start screening earlier, like I did.
Okay.
So the mammogram, you're right, is the way to detect breast cancer.
Okay.
But I'm thinking people need to be aware that there are other types of cancers and other diagnoses that they can be aware of and get detection.
And what type of screening are you talking about?
So one of the things, since I mentioned my first bout with cancer was cervical cancer, and at that time there wasn't as much knowledge or awareness that the HPV is kind of the leading cause. And we recently launched the HPV self-collect, which I'm so happy about, because for lots of reasons there are people that either don't want to go to the doctor, the invasive pap smear type collection is something they want to avoid. Well, guess what? You can avoid it. You can today get an HPV self-collect in our collection centers, in our SonoraQuest patient collection centers.
Right.
We have a question from someone on the chat here. Brandy the Bookworm. She is saying, question for someone like me who is scared of getting a mammogram, not because of the pain, because it doesn't hurt, but after a scare, does the personnel know how to help someone who's scared and anxious of going in to get that mammogram? Because I can only imagine that is probably a very scary couple of minutes.
Brings up a lot of emotion.
And waiting for those results, I can only imagine is like, it is.
You're absolutely right. And I'm so glad that that question came in, because there are services and support. For me, when I first had the diagnosis, I reached out I had a coworker that had a similar story, and just hearing what the steps are. Today, through American Cancer Society, there's so many support services that online or on the phone, you can get with someone that can just kind of talk through all of your questions, all the things that are causing anxiety.
Can you, dumb question, can you take a friend to go to your mammogram with you? Like just someone like moral support?
Absolutely. I think that's a great idea. And part of what you were seeing when you were showing the American Cancer Society's Making Strides event and all those people, men and women, it's a community. That's the idea, is for everyone to think of this diagnosis, this disease, as something we can beat together, right? Because it's gotten better. It has improved. And this kind of conversation, we have a program called I Love You, Get Screened, and I'll share the postcard with you. But it's a really neat way to say, I love you, so get screened, right? And that is a way to start conversations. So people that have fears or concerns can talk it out and then take action.
That's awesome. And the money here raised for this event, it stays local, or where does that go?
That's a really good question. So I'm a volunteer at American Cancer Society, but recognize that is what we do in leadership, is make sure that what we work on in terms of our time, our energy, our funds, that it helps Arizonans. And it absolutely does. And even that I Love You, Get Screened campaign, I know is specific to Arizona. So the American Cancer Society does a great job of raising important funds for cancer research, for services, for rides and hotel stays, and that helps our community. So thank you for asking that question. It's so important.
So obviously tomorrow is the big day.
Yeah.
It's coming up.
I cannot believe 40,000 people.
And you said it's one of the largest in the nation.
It is. So last year, our event in Tempe Beach Park was top 5.
Wow.
And so we're a little bit competitive, so we're hoping.
No, I would be too. Yeah.
Like,
let's get to number 1.
Yeah, let's get to number 1. So I hope that people that are listening will come out.
Yeah.
That
And anybody can just show up.
Anybody can just
Okay.
show up, arrive early. I mean, 40,000 people, it's a lot.
Yeah.
But it's so much fun.
Oh, I
I mean,
bet.
just music, fun, food.
And that's what I was going to ask you. I mean, my mom's a breast cancer survivor, so it's kind of like an exclusive little club of being a breast cancer survivor.
Yeah.
But when you see kind of this sea of pink and you're there with other survivors, I can only imagine it's kind of emotional as well, isn't it?
It is, because it's a time to not just remember your mom, because your mom survived,
yeah.
which is fantastic. But there are people that didn't make it, and it gets emotional.
Sure.
When you think about the reason, one of the things that the American Cancer Society does a lot, and my company also, is think about our purpose. So American Cancer Society, they'll say, what's your why? And you hear personal stories, people that have lost loved ones. I lost my mother. And you're right, when you're doing that walk, that 3-mile walk, and you're side by side in this crowd, and you're seeing, look at this movement. Look at how many people care, how many people are donating money and time and using their voice to help others. It's inspiring.
I
It's
bet.
emotional.
And some might even be going through it
At the time,
currently
right?
at,
Yes,
at the walk.
there are people that are clearly sometimes in wheelchairs because they can't even walk, but they want to be there.
Wow.
I met a young lady just last week who's finally clear. And she can't wait to walk tomorrow because she didn't think she was going to make it.
Wow.
And so the idea of being able to walk and Making Strides event tomorrow is triumph. It's victory. And our conversation, she's like me. I don't use the term survivor that much because survivor to me feels like you're just hanging on.
Yeah.
But it is a feeling of triumph.
Yeah.
Victory.
Yes,
Yeah.
victory. I like that. How do you make that a pronoun?
Yeah.
Victorian?
Sure.
A victor.
A victor.
All English teachers, please dial in.
We're just doing some things here that are good.
We're just spitballing some ideas.
Yes.
Grammar experts.
But, thrivers is a term that I do like.
I love that.
And that is where someone, whether it be family history, has said, let me get this testing. And the testing indicates that they are at high risk. And rather than wait for that terrible diagnosis, they proactively have the bilateral mastectomy. And we call them thrivers. And it's a great term, and I really respect people that, because it's hard. It's not something that you want to enter into lightly.
Yeah.
But I am really excited for people that are listening, that hear the message and take action.
Yeah. We got about a minute left.
Yeah.
Give us kind of the nitty gritty, what time this all kicks off tomorrow. I know our very own Des and Syleste are going to be out there tomorrow to kind of kick things off. It's going to be a lot of fun.
All right. So Making Strides, Tempe Beach Park, 40,000 people. It kicks off at the stage at 8 a.m., but I say target 7 a.m. because 40,000 people, that's a lot.
Yeah.
So get there early and sunscreen.
Yes. Yep.
Water.
But there's water being passed out.
Okay.
There's goodies. There's fun. So bring your family, bring your friends. Have a great time for a good cause.
All right. Well, Sonya, thank you so much
Thank
for
you so
coming in.
much.
It was so
And
nice
sharing
to
your
meet you.
story.
Yeah, we
It's
appreciate it.
pleasure.
It's
Thank
very
you.
inspiring.
Thank you.
All right, that's going to do it for us on this Friday.
Anita's back next week.
I know,
Or wait, no, I'm back too. Because
Oh, yeah,
you're
I'm off. Yeah, so you'll be back. All right.
So I will still be here. Sorry, guys.
Okay. There we go. How do we top the last 90 minutes? Well, we have a plan in place to do just that. Hi, everybody. Hey. It's Ron and Des. And Des, we have plenty to talk about this hour. By the way, you have the big breast cancer walk coming up tomorrow. Yes. That's going to be a big, big deal.
Absolutely. I mean, the Sea of Pink grows every year, so that's exciting. Mm-hmm. We're at more than 40,000 people now, all at Tempe Beach Park to walk, to bring awareness for breast cancer research and to support survivors and providers. So it's really exciting. That's tomorrow at 8, and I will be there bright and early with all the kiddos and my husband in tow. And yeah, we're going to have a good time. So.
Will the unicorn be there again this year?
I hope so.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, I'm telling you, it is in a way, it's a day of celebration. Yes. You know, so many people have faced this battle head on and have defeated cancer, and so many more need the help of the funds that are going to be raised because we are making progress.
Yeah, we are. Mm-hmm. We are. And I think even if you're someone currently going through breast cancer and you're in your fight, I think going to this event just it does something to your soul. You know, if maybe you're down and out and feeling a little hopeless, come on out with us tomorrow, reinvigorate yourself, meet some new people, and get that support. So it's a great day.
Okay, along the top stories that we are talking about today, by the way, this particular chair is, well, we actually do we have a guest coming up later. That's our imaginary
friend, Larry. Morning, Larry.
Larry, the
today.
Imaginary Fox 10 Talks disappearing guest.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's my fault because I don't like sitting there.
Yeah. Well,
I said, because the last time they put me, I go, Ron, you can smell the salad I just ate for lunch.
Yeah,
so,
right. Okay.
Kind of like being a
We all have our preferences on some of our camera angles. But anyway, we'll get to work on that. There is a story, though. Let me just go right to the video. This is a Valley neighborhood, about 41st Avenue and Cactus. And we just have to report to you that a suspected burglar picked the absolute wrong house to try to break into because the guy got shot. In this city, a lot of homeowners also happen to be gun owners. This is why it blows my mind that anybody thinks they could ever break into anybody's house. And so here you are, quiet neighborhood. Somebody tries to break into a home. Homeowner hears the commotion, opens fire. Looks like the guy will live, and the incident remains under investigation. But it's a warning to all the burglars out there. When you're breaking into somebody's home, there's a chance they're going to be armed.
Oh, absolutely. I don't even know why you would try this.
I know.
To gamble in that way.
Right.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Yeah. One of the other stories that we were talking about this morning is what's going on with the water rates in Gilbert. Now, look, a lot of people want to live in Gilbert. They got all the restaurants. They have the super cool downtown. But when you take a look at what's been happening to the utility rates there, particularly the water rates, I think a lot of people have a lot of questions. Here in a nutshell, Des, is what we've learned about it. People are kind of up in arms. The town says, okay, we're going to do an audit on the water system. A new billing system rolled out. There were some issues. Town leaders say residents have to wait 4 to 6 weeks to just get their meters checked. They increased rates 50% last year, 25% this year, and then 25% more next year. That seems like a lot.
That seems astronomical.
I know.
I mean, even if your water bill was $100.
Right.
A 50% increase.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
in
that's
1 year.
Big. In 1 year,
correct.
And then another 75. That's just insane. And the person that we heard from this morning said that her bill went from like $300 to $700.
Yeah,
that's huge.
Okay, so let's listen to some of that.
Citizens of Gilbert have been victimized because of the poor decisions that were made.
I have nothing but empathy. I mean, my rates are up too.
I think it was 300 and something to 709. And it was like, whoa. The main objective of these is to
let people know how much water they're using, but also equally as important, where it's being used. Jordan has a station running, and so that indicates that that one is using 8.8 gallons per minute.
How often are you finding that it's the water meter that's the problem?
Very, very, very rare. I've been here for just over 6 years, and I could count on one hand the amount of times.
Were you hoping to find a leak?
Actually, yes. Yeah.
It'll be transparent, and then we're going to probably learn some lessons where we did things really well, and we're going to probably learn some things that if we could go back in time and do it over again, we would.
No, town leaders are saying the hikes are long overdue, but you got to have more advanced planning than that, because now if they're long overdue, that's on you, the town. And so all of a sudden you're like, well, we got to take care of all of this, and let's raise rates by 100% in 4 years. You can't do that. You need to just say, okay, let's roll this out on a much more gentle, incremental basis so people can budget. Even 10% a year.
Yeah, and I just think even the West Valley being so desirable as far as to live, and
West Valley and East Valley.
Yeah, but I think folks are going to take a look at this and maybe think twice if they're considering a move or a change, or that's too much.
Okay, so the big national story, of course, is the government shutdown, and here's what Shannon Bream had to say about that this morning when we chatted with her. It's Shannon Bream time. Hi, Shannon.
Brian, good to see you.
Good to see you, too. She, of course, is the host of Fox News Sunday. I like to talk about our streaming show, Fox 10 Talks, and you've been a guest. We run these polls that get thousands of votes. 73% of people on YouTube this week, and there were thousands of votes, said who could vote against paying the military and essential government workers. Only 23% said the fight about Obamacare subsidies is too important. So a couple of questions. A, are we any closer to a resolution? And B, I know the Democrats feel like this is the only leverage point they have, but won't their real leverage on this issue come soon, Shannon, when people by the millions see their health care rates double or triple?
Yeah, I mean, that's looming November 1st. That's when open enrollment on the Obamacare exchanges happens, and people will see a difference if there's not a plan for the subsidies, which expire December 31st. Now, you'll hear some Republicans say, let's have a conversation about that. You will hear others of them say, why are we subsidizing insurance companies? These rates keep going up. People don't realize how much of their premiums are actually subsidized by the American taxpayer. It's like 80% in some cases. So why is the system still so flawed that that's being shouldered by taxpaying Americans? So there are other conversations to have there. But November 1st is also when a number of states say they're going to run out of SNAP benefits, which that food assistance is something that more than 40 million Americans rely on. We're going to have missed paychecks potentially by federal workers again, potentially for the military. So there are a lot of pressure points coming in the days ahead.
And am I correct that there was a vote to at least extend SNAP benefits, and that got voted down? Was it yesterday?
Well, yeah, they were voting for federal workers to keep them paid. For the federal workers who are considered essential, so they have to show up during the shutdown, there was a measure offered up by Republican Senator Ron Johnson. Okay, let's pay them if they're having to show up. Let's pay them in real time. Democrats said no. 3 of them did crossover, but most of them said no. That's our leverage point, and we think it's more important to fight about those subsidies than it is to pay the federal workers in real time. They will get paid eventually, but in real time.
All right. So let's talk practical politics. How much of this is what you might call the AOC effect? Chuck Schumer and other older, entrenched members of the party may be somewhat shocked at the anger aimed at them from the left, and Schumer may be feeling the heat about a possible run by AOC for his seat.
Exactly right. And remember, he, meaning Minority Leader Schumer, did vote for a continuing resolution in the spring to keep the government open. He did that because he said, listen, we have a responsibility to keep things going. He took so much heat from Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez and others to his left flank that he's not budging this time. And clearly the message from last time he cooperated in keeping the government open was received, and he's not going to do it this time. He's not going to help Republicans. But both Republican and Democrat leadership think it's going to be rank and file or people, within the party who break from the leadership and actually form enough of a coalition to get this thing moving again.
Well, I was trying to figure out what to ask you about the new ballroom at the White House, but it seems like it's kind of a moot issue. I mean, the president's moving forward. I don't see anything stopping it now.
Yeah, and he says, listen, the White House put out a list of donors yesterday. The left says, okay, we have the donors. This is private money, but what are they getting for this? The president says nothing. What he says he's giving the American people is something that he probably won't get to enjoy at all. Maybe. I mean, he's trying to get this thing done by the end of his term, but he says it's for future generations, for future presidents to have something worthy of the U.S. when they host big leadership, summits and foreign leaders, those kinds of things. But still a lot of pushback, a lot of unhappiness here in Washington, mainly from those who just don't like President Trump.
My favorite part of your show is the panel. There's a lot of wisdom there. So we'll all be watching out here Sunday morning. It's 7 a.m. during football season. I should just point out for everybody. You start with Shannon at 7.
Get your coffee.
There you go. Then you got football for hours. Shannon, we'll see you next week. Okay, and the big story coming in from Washington this morning, actually it happened at a courthouse in Virginia, is the Attorney General of New York, Letitia James, charged with bank fraud. Is it just revenge? Here is what the polling looks like. And we're actually going to get you a report out of New York right after this break. But currently 20% say, yeah, it's revenge. She was only charged because Trump pressured the DOJ. 77% are saying no, if she committed bank fraud, she should be charged. 3% say, I'll just wait and see. We'll see what comes up in the trial. Des, how's it looking? Oh, on YouTube, now over 1,000 votes.
Yeah, we're at 1.1 there. You can see in the top left-hand corner of the poll. And then the percentages always are similar, we see, but 46% saying yes, 49% with no, and 5% of folks say, I'm waiting for the trial to see if there's enough evidence here in this case.
Okay, so you can vote in either place. You can go to YouTube. By the way, to find it on YouTube is you go to the Fox 10 Phoenix channel, then you look for posts. Although you view the channel, then you look for post all the way over to the right. Or as we always say, you can just grab that QR code and you can vote that way as well. So, all right, that report is coming up right after the break. But first, where do we think? Oh, look at this, Des. Way off in the distance is a huge city. I see all those high rises.
Yeah.
And it's somewhere where the leaves are turning now. So I don't think it's maybe in the deep south. Got to be more in the central part of the country or northern part of the country.
Oh, this one's a good one.
Okay, give us your guesses. We'll be right back. Well, I love the thought process here. For example, Halakita says, could it be Michigan? What city is that in the distance with all the tall buildings? That was exactly what I was thinking. I'm wondering if it's Detroit. But see, Charles David is on there. He's always got some smart guesses. He's thinking maybe that's Indianapolis in the distance, and this is Indiana. And Lil Philosophy is saying that could be Tulsa off there in the distance, and this is a suburb as well. Lots of other guesses, Des, as well.
Charles David says the Northeast. I have I don't know. I'm stumped with this one.
Are you stumped?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a town with a water tower.
And I've been wrong, I think, every time this week. So
We're
I don't
competitive.
have any confidence over here.
I actually
Michigan.
Here's the thing. I'm going to go with Michigan. Do you like Michigan?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going with Ron.
But the thing about it is, if you go across the river, you're actually in Ontario.
So you think that's Ontario? You think that could be Ontario?
I think the city is Detroit, but I don't know if it's Michigan from the west or if it's Ontario from the east. But I'll just stick with Michigan.
Yeah.
We both are going with Michigan.
Yeah.
You guys, here we go.
Oh, good thing we did. It's Southfield, Michigan.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go take one more look right there. Nice. By the way, not very far from there is a town called Dearborn, Michigan. It's my favorite museum in the world. It's called the Henry Ford.
Oh.
And they have, just think about so many moments in our nation's history, and they pretty much have it covered. They have the car that JFK was riding in the day he went into Dallas and was shot.
Wow.
They have the chair that Abraham Lincoln was sitting in the day that he was shot at the Ford's Theater. I mean, it's all really so impressive.
I know you love your history.
They do.
So that was really cool for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's really great. You can spend a few days there, but I never give myself more than a day. Hey, Des, okay, so we have been following the big story this morning. It comes in, it really affects the state of New York because their attorney general now has been arraigned on criminal charges. My understanding is they're fairly serious. So we thought, what better move to make than to check in with our some of our great reporting staff at WN by W in New York. If you're in New York, more commonly known as Fox 5, it's Antoine Lewis. Antoine, how you doing?
Hi, good afternoon, my time, but good morning, I believe it is still to both of you.
Yeah, still morning.
Yeah. Okay, so she goes into the courtroom. Not a lot of defendants will come right out afterwards and get in front of the microphone, but it seemed like she really wanted to do that today.
Yes, she did. Attorney General Letitia James, was in court in Norfolk this morning, and she's been charged with 2 counts of two felonies. One account is bank fraud, and the other one is making false statements to a financial institution. So here's what's going on. She purchased a home in Virginia back in 2020. Now, the indictment alleges that James never intended to use the home as a primary residence. It was always going to be a rental property, and that's the basis, if you will, of the allegation of lying to a financial institution because she never lived in it. She let a relative, from what our understanding is, live in that house. So this has all been developing. She was indicted last month by the Trump administration for that. But no, she was in Virginia this morning. She pleaded not guilty to the 2 felonies. And then, as you pointed out, she came outside and then made comments, out there, which we'll get to in just a moment. But again, it speaks to 2 levels. And I think the first thing is, what you'll hear her say, is that she absolutely feels that she's done nothing wrong. And we also want to point out that you are innocent until proven guilty, despite the circumstances, despite the backstory of that. So, yeah, rarely do defendants, come in. But if there is one who will know, I can make a statement, or I will come out and make that it is someone who is a lawyer. She is an attorney. She's a former prosecutor herself here in the state. So she understands, that, and speaking at the mic there. But let's stop me talking and let's hear what she had to say, and then we can break it down a little bit more.
This justice system, which has been used as a tool of revenge and a weapon against those individuals who simply did their job and who stood up for the rule of law. And a justice system which unfortunately is Nothing being used as a vehicle of retribution.
Yes. Yes.
But my faith is strong. And my faith is, I have this belief in the justice system, in the rule of law, and I have a belief in America and all of its individuals who have stood with me, not only in New York, but all across this nation.
Antoine, they're going to go 30 seconds more on this song.
From
then they'll
just
come
about
out of you
every
to wrap with one
jurisdiction in
question.
this nation.
Okay. All right, thank you so
who
much.
have said stand up and be tall. And never ever cow down or back down or break or bend. So there's no fear today. No fear. No fear. No fear. No fear. Because I believe that justice will rain down like water and righteousness like a mighty stream.
So, some powerful, emotional words there from the Attorney General of the state of New York. Antoine, where does it all go from here?
Well, a trial date has been set for January 26, and both sides agreed that would be enough time for them to get prepared for the trial. It's expected to last between 8 to 10 weeks. I'm sorry, it's expected to last between 2 weeks, but the prosecution says they will call 8 to 10 witnesses. So that information was revealed today in court. What's interesting about this is, as we listened to the soundbite that she was saying, when she said weaponized and being used for retribution, what she and her supporters are saying is that this is all brought about by the current administration's Department of Justice in retaliation to her having brought a civil trial against now President Donald Trump, as opposed to when this suit went forward and he was charged in a civil court. She was actually winning. She won that case, and that she and her supporters feel like this is all a direct result of retaliation from the Trump DOJ. And that is what that comment was that she was making there. And we anticipate, hearing reaction from the president today. He takes questions and things there. We understand there may be a briefing of some sort going on there, not specifically related to this, but at some point, of course, he may be asked about it because it's one of the top stories of the day. But yeah, January 26th is when the trial date has been set. About 2 weeks, 8 to 10 witnesses expected to be called. She did plead. She entered a plea of not guilty today, and we'll see what happens. But again, as far as the ability to speak right after, rarely, do defendants do that, but again, as you heard her say, she believes that, she has nothing to hide and has done nothing wrong, and thus took her chance at the mic to make her case. So that's where it stands now.
Excellent. All right, Antoine, thanks for your report today. Really giving us the full perspective. What is no doubt a very big day in the legal world and really the political world in the state of New York. Des, I'm very
Antoine,
excited.
Thank you.
Very excited now about our next guest.
Thank you, Antoine. That was
me
perfect.
too. You guys, we have the beautiful Melissa Lawson in studio with us this morning. She is a breast cancer survivor, and we got to know each other. I wrote a nice piece on you earlier this week in honor of the Breast Cancer Walk coming up, and I just wanted to have you on our stream just to introduce you to our viewers here and to share a little bit of your story. So you were a Maricopa County Detention Officer. Yes. Thank you. Yes. It's a difficult job. And at that time you were working, you were diagnosed with breast cancer. Give us a little bit more of your journey.
Yes, diagnosed with HER3, breast cancer in 2018. Just really
come right up to that microphone
closer.
so everybody can hear you. We can hear you, but I want everybody at home to hear you. There you go. Go ahead.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Diagnosed in 2018. Just really out of the blue. Something that was really unexpected. A very large lump, 3.2 centimeters. So it started off very large. So it wasn't something that was truly expected. And so with something, coming so unexpectedly, I just can't say it was, a journey that I was expecting. That's for sure.
It took you back because you were getting your mammograms regularly, and you had one not too long before your diagnosis. So it was surprising.
Right.
And then through chemo and radiation, I'm so glad to say you are a survivor. And now, Ron, she started an incredible group called Soul Sisters Fighting.
Nice. Let's hear all about it.
started at first, couldn't figure out a name because I did not realize so many women that were in my life actually had breast cancer, because I realized a lot of women that I'm around, they don't even talk about the fact that this is something that they have survived. So here it is. I was trying to use names at first, and I'm like, okay, this is not working. And then with the ladies that have been in my life, that have been my support, walking with me through the walks every year. And so it was just a true blessing. What's a good name? And here it is, surviving. Here it is, some sisters, and it's a fight. It's a true fight, because when you're going through the battles, going through the chemo, going through the radiation, you have to fight. You really have to stand strong. And so with the ladies that I've been with, they have right there supporting along the way.
So it's a support group for women, but in particularly Black women who are impacted by breast cancer, because we know Black women are, we're prideful, we're learned to fight our battles sometimes silently. So it's a call to be outspoken about this.
Yes, and that's what I've learned. I did not realize so many Black women remain silent, and this is where I want, with the Soul Sisters Fighting, to start hoping that we can allow our women to start speaking and speaking out.
So where can we find you? So if someone is watching and they need to reach out, how do we get in contact with your group? I know you're big within, the church community as well.
Yes, they can always find me at New Salem Missionary Baptist Church, because my church, they're so supportive with our group. They have our backs all the way. And then, of course, you can always definitely find me online with my Soul Sisters. You come out to that walk, you'll definitely find Soul Sisters.
We got to get Ron out there. Do we got to
no kidding.
Ron?
No
There's
kidding.
enough pink to go around.
That's right.
Okay, good. Well, I'm so glad we got to wrap our interview up, and I'm so glad you mentioned the walk, because this could be, at least I think here at the TV station, we're hoping this is going to be the biggest and best walk we've ever had.
We hope so.
It's growing.
It does. It gets bigger every year.
Good.
year.
So people also can just walk right up and introduce themselves to you
I hope
tomorrow.
so. Come
If you see Melissa, say hi. Wait, real quick. We got 30 seconds. Show your shoes real quick.
Okay, here we go.
So find Melissa in
Where
her
are they?
pink
Where are
sneaks.
there you
Those
go.
are epic.
Yes.
All right, grab your best pink and meet us out there, Tempe Beach Park tomorrow. The walk will start at 8.
Let's fight.
Oh, that's great. Melissa, thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Have a great time
really
at the
do.
walk.
Yes.
And hopefully this is the biggest one ever.
Oh, God bless.
See you at Tempe Town Lake, everybody.